I just want to ask a few questions. These are not loaded questions, but they need to be asked because at some point we need to find a solution. India and Australia are both democracies. Both are countries that have very, very close relations. Both countries have their citizens living in the other country. There's a large Indian population living in Australia and vice versa. So these are the questions that one needs to ask. Is Australia becoming, ignorantly or knowingly a safe haven for Khalistani terrorists like Canada? Does Australia endorse these so-called Khalistanis? Isn't Australia providing a safe haven to Khalistanis by, looking in the other direction? Why isn't Australia banning Khalistani organizations that openly operate out of Australia? Does the country value its relationship with India? It's a question that really needs to be asked. Think about it. And does India need to play hardball with Australia is that other question. I want to go across now to India Today's Manjeet Sehgal, and I'd like to thank all of our guests who are joining us from Australia here on 5 Live. Manjeet, the Pakistan ISI, as usual, looks to be up to its old tricks. It has seen a pattern of, intimidatory tactics taking place in different parts of the world, and they've now decided to commit more resources to trying and fueling this so-called Khalistani tension in Punjab.
Yes, indeed, Shiv. In fact, Indian security agencies have exposed the two-pronged strategy of ISI's K2 desk, which has two things in its mind. One, to revive terrorism in Punjab, and second, to create a hatred between the communities, be it the Sikhs or be it the Hindus. Remember, at least 9 attacks on Hindu temples have been reported during the past year. 2 in Punjab, 4 in Canada, and 3 in Australia. So this is a strategy of the ISI to create hatred and to revive terrorism in Punjab. But remember, the latest incident is reported in Canada on 30th of February when the anti-social elements or these Khalistani elements tried to deface a Lord Rama temple on 30th of February. But as far as the Khalistani elements, Shiv, in India and in Punjab particularly is concerned, they are getting donations from various countries. Remember, a false propaganda is being spread about the Indian government, the Indian constitution, and even some religions from these 8 countries, including the Canada, the Australia, be it the Italy or any other country. But the Indian government is also trying to counter it. Even the Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann has also categorically told the Khalistani elements that the government is keeping an eye on all the developments and will not let these elements spoil the hard-earned peace in Punjab. Sure.
Okay, Manjeet, thanks very much for getting us that exclusive report. I also want to update our viewers about the modus operandi used by Pakistan's ISI to try and foment more tensions using these so-called Khalistani outfits that operate, obviously like cowards, they only operate abroad. The ISI's K2 desk, that's what it's called, Kashmir and Khalistan, operates as one desk, tells you everything you need to know about Pakistan. It basically enlists Canada-based gangsters to order attacks here in India. It doesn't require any infiltration of terrorists because they basically hire local goons. The Canada gangsters pick up the phone, they hire killers in Punjab to conduct these particular attacks like you've seen in Punjab. And it keeps Punjab on the boil basically with minimum investment, basically hiring local goons who will do anything for a buck. Terrorists, gangsters, drug smugglers have a nexus, and that nexus is used for logistics of weapons and other things. So it's drug money, ISI money, and gangsters operating in India and in Canada who are part of this entire mess. Now, the pattern of violence, the pattern of intimidation has become way too much to simply ignore. From Canada to Punjab to Australia and certain other countries as well, where things are still under investigation. This is no longer just a one-off, it is a pattern, and Pakistan is attempting its very best to make sure that this becomes the norm. Well, let me just remind all of our viewers that Khalistan has been mentioned just twice in Union Home Ministry annual reports since 2015. India does not see them as a threat. Have outsized ambitions, they've got outsized, grandiose visions of what their abilities are, but what they really are a bunch of YouTubers eating lunchboxes in Brampton in Canada and Melbourne in Australia. They mean nothing else to India, and India will show them their place if need be. That's the question that Australia and Canada also need to ask.